Good day, dear partners. First of all, I want to say a big thank you to you. I'm happy that I was given the opportunity to say personally to you, thank you. I was introduced with Renner Ministries in 1997 while I was watching his program in Kyrgyzstan. And they so touched me that I repented and received salvation. And my whole family received salvation. And why am I saying thank you to you? Because my salvation and the salvation of my family is a result of your giving. And I know that tens of thousands of people would say thank you to you also, if they had that chance. But I know that they will tell you thank you, personally. Today, I am the Associate Pastor of Pastor Renner in Good News Church, and I am in charge of all the administrative work. I want to tell you about our church, about our building, and why it's so important, why the building is so important for our church. In Russia, most people connect the word church with the word building. In reality, there are a lot of good Orthodox churches that have great buildings with gold-topped domes, with big, beautiful crosses. In the understanding of people, church, in the first place, is a beautiful building. So when we invite people to a venue that we rent, to a university or a theater, and say, welcome to the Moscow Good News Church, some people say, what? Church? What kind of church are you? Where did you bring me? Why did you bring me to a university and call it your own church? And there are a lot of people in Russia who think like that. There are even people who consider us to be a sect just because we do not have our own building. And that, not even considering the fact that thousands of people, and exactly 1,750 people, have repented in our church over the last 10 years. Hundreds of people have received water baptism and the baptism of the Holy Spirit. People receive healing. God comes into people's lives, changing their families, changing their children, changing the relationship in between husband and wife. God does a big work in people's lives who come to our church. Not even considering the fact that we do a lot of social work, like the Bible tells us to do. Not even considering the fact that we help over 3,000 elderly people in our church, helping them receive vitamins and helping them receive spiritual knowledge. Not even considering the fact that we help street kids. Not even considering the fact that we associate with 10 orphanages who reach 600 kids. Not even considering all the social work, people say, you're not a church. And the question of a building for a church in Moscow and in Russia, it's not just an economical question. It's a big spiritual question. We can do 10 times more if we had our own church. Besides that, in 1 year, our church pays $480,000 in rent. And that's not because we're renting large venues. Not at all. That's just because Moscow is an expensive city in the area of rent and property. In 10 years, in the next 10 years, if we do not buy a building, and if the rent does not raise, we will pay around $5 million only in rent. That is money that will go into nothing. The cost of the building that we have found, with reconstruction, will cost around $8 million. That's the Lord's money saved. That's the Lord's money that will be invested here into the church building. I thank you for your participation.